So this is going to be the last retail horror stories video for the foreseeable future. There's just a lot of negativity in the world right now, and I don't want to contribute to that by adding more negativity. Being angry and negative shouldn't be my go-to personality trait, and I just want to make more positive content in the future, like talking about the Dead Space remake and Resident Evil 4 remake, and stuff that I'm passionate about and makes me happy. So I hope you all understand that, but let's get to the video. This video is sponsored by the coldest water. Drinking more water is something a lot of us should be doing, and something even I still struggle with from time to time. Looking at a big jug of water can be pretty intimidating to me, and of course to others, so I'm really happy to show off the coldest 21-ounce sports bottle. It's convenient, small, and extremely portable. You can stick it in your bag when you go to work, you can take it to the gym, or you can just twirl it around your fingers if you're so inclined. I mean, are you still drinking out of those plastic cups at the office? Well, no more. This bottle can get you through your entire work shift, and then keep your drink cold for up to 36 hours or more. And if you have a hot drink like coffee, you can keep that warm for up to 12 hours. I'm happy to say that your ice is right at home in this insulated bottle. One thing I really enjoy about this kind of bottle is this is one of the few bottles like this that has a built-in straw, so it has ease of access and you don't spill your drink all over yourself when you're in your vehicle. Check the link in the description and use our code CWILD for 10% off your first order so you can get one too. So I won't name this company both for privacy reasons and because I don't think giving them a name is even worthwhile, and I don't even think they deserve to be named at this point. So basically I got hired at this place back in March of this year, and it was kind of a stepping stone after leaving Lowe's, which I had left just a few months prior to this. And like most jobs, the people were friendly at first, the orientation was relatively pleasant, and they fed that corporate propaganda of you being an asset to the company and all this other stuff, just basically buttering me up and upselling the job position. But as time went on, this went downhill pretty quickly. The job wasn't hard. It was really just a basic cashier position in the men's department where I'd handle all transactions and occasionally do measurements for people who wanted to wear suits. And thinking back on it, that really wasn't that bad because I really enjoyed helping people pick out formal wear, because I do like to dress up when I get the opportunity, but now that I'm out of college, I don't really get to dress up very much anymore. But at the same time, that was pretty nice. But I was also responsible for recovery, which basically means that I would go out and about in the department and fold loose clothes, fix up displays, pick up loose items, some stuff like that. It was pretty simple. However, like most failing businesses, they really pushed the in-store credit cards to the point that the employees were penalized for not making a certain quota. I've always been against the in-store credit quotas because most people who want these cards already have them, and I shouldn't have to force a card on somebody who doesn't want it. It even said on the register, it had a prompt every time you logged in that said, do you want to put this on XX card today, or do you want to sign up for said card? The management actively encouraged underhanded and scummy tactics to try to coax people into signing up for these cards, and they actively took advantage of people who didn't speak English. However, the credit cards, while having a very high approval rating, had a really high interest rate, so you would be paying nearly double what you initially got in credit, and they had a habit of outright canceling your card if you missed a payment by 1 day. The thing is, my moral integrity refused to budge on this issue, so I would just tell customers at the checkout lane the truth about the cards and that they're actively being lied to by management and corporate. Sure, that's really risky for me, but I'm not about to put someone in debt over a stupid credit card quota. Anytime we would get a credit sign up, we'd also have to call on the walkie something like gift for LOD, because we couldn't just say, hey, we got a credit card sign up. We had to literally say it was a gift for the leader on duty or the manager. The other incentive for getting these cards was that the customers would get a 15 to 25% discount on certain merchandise. However, what we weren't allowed to say is that you don't get this discount automatically when you purchase something. You have to ask an employee if there is one and if we can apply the discount. And the problem is that 9 times out of 10, they were already running a sale that had the same coupon anyway, so they weren't really getting anything out of it. The thing is, we had physical copies of the discount for the credit cards, but management slowly started cracking down on it, and they wouldn't allow us to use these physical copies anymore. Only use them as a physical reference to know what deal we currently have. I was very rebellious on this issue, and I used the paper anyway because I think it's scummy business practice to outright lie to customers this way. The employees didn't really get much of an incentive to do this either, as the only incentive we had to do this in-store credit card sign up was that we would get a penny raised for every credit app that we filled out. I guarantee you that this system capped out at a certain point because they were so desperate for meeting a quota that they would rather hold a potential payment raise behind a credit card quota wall instead of just outright paying the employees better. I bet you it capped off at probably 50 cents. I mean, honestly. Because if we got 200 credits, they'd probably cap it off at like $12 or something. I have no idea. But anyway, the store also had its fair share of crazy people, as there was one time I asked a customer looking at socks if they needed help, and the guy just freaked out on me, saying that I was spying on him and I was following him around the store, and that he, quote, wasn't stealing nothing. So after this incident, a few weeks later, I was walking around the store and doing my usual recovery, and then the same guy was in the big and tall section as I was getting some clothes to fold. I thought nothing of it because I didn't recognize him at first, so I just went back and folded the clothes as usual. So when he approached the register, I asked him if he was ready to check out, and he just blew a lid and started screaming at me and saying I was following him, and that I may as well hold his credit card too, saying all sorts of profanities at me, getting in my face, and he then pulled out his phone and was threatening to call corporate on me, which I actually audibly laughed at because I didn't care enough about the job to worry, and what was corporate going to say? That I was wrong for defending our merchandise or asking the customer that he needed help? So basically, I just got on the walkie and I called security, and he kept saying all these horrible things about me to my management team and lied and said he was a veteran with PTSD and all this other stuff. This was just one of many crazy characters who entered the store. I never understood why my coworkers had such an elitist attitude while working there, as the store was very trashy, and the AC system likely hadn't been fixed since the 1970s when the store opened originally. It was so bad that I tried to get some candy from the vending machine, and it was completely melted. There was a coworker named Devin who I worked with who was slightly younger than me and was fine to work with at first, but he had this "I'm better than you" attitude when talking to me, and he acted like he was in a supervisor position when he clearly was not, and tried to order me and my other employees around as if he was. Numerous times I would have customers come in and ask where Devin was because Devin was giving these people illegal discounts for being his, quote, friend. I confronted him about this, and he told me to just go ahead and give these people the discounts, even though it was against the rules and probably not legal. This ties into the men's department supervisor, who I'll just call Agnes because I don't think she deserves to have her proper name in this video. So Agnes was one of those fake nice people who act super sweet and understanding some of the time, but in reality is just an ego-driven monster who sees everyone else below them. I tried being friendly with them, but they're one of those old-fashioned supervisors who like to abuse their position and make everyone else do their job for them. I was kind of getting flashbacks of Cindy from when I worked at Lowe's. Anyway, I told Agnes what Devin was doing, and she blew me off and said, oh, well, he doesn't have the manager numbers to do that, and he's not authorized, and she didn't even take it seriously. But I know for a fact that he could either use the physical coupons or use one of the credit card application coupons, but the fact that he was doing this and I was just completely blown off kind of gives you an insight into how the structure of the store worked. Now, I would have gone to HR about this, but the HR department head was also of the same mindset and personality, so likely nothing would have come of it. I probably would have gotten retaliated against, and to be honest, the job wasn't worth it to begin with, so I just said, you know what, screw it. So overall, the store just was not worth my time. Since this store was in the mall, we got a lot of teenagers who would come in and cause havoc, such as spraying fart spray or playing on the escalators, to even harassing the women in the store. This job just wasn't worth it. I mean, for example, we had folding trays to get clothes folded in a certain pattern so they stack up on the shelf properly, and I was never good at doing this without the folding tray, so I would take the clothes back and fold them on the tray, and then bring the clothes that were stacked up back to the shelf and then put them on the display accordingly. Agnes literally was so petty about this, how I apparently wasn't folding the clothes to her perfect standard, that a day after she got onto me for taking clothes to the folding tray, the next day the folding tray was missing. I asked about it and nobody knew where it was. But I had a sneaking suspicion about who took it and why. So that's when I just decided that enough was enough, and I left during my break time, and I never came back. And I have not been in this store since then. I try not to be vindictive, as nowadays I'm trying to focus on more positive things in a very, very dark world right now. But I hope this place goes down under quicker than Men at Work can make a song about it. Thanks everybody for watching.